Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Dr. Rudresh Pandey. I'm a professor at Department of Business Administration, ABES Engineering College, Ghaziabad. This is the second uh, part of video for Unit 1 on Entrepreneurship Development for MBA second year, fourth semester students. Welcome. The first thing which we discuss here is functions of entrepreneur. What is an entrepreneur doing and what are its functions? There's some very basic functions that entrepreneur is doing when they're performing everyday tasks which they are doing. The first thing is to prepare a plan. Entrepreneur has to be a good planner. Entrepreneur has to make a provision of capital, land, labor, machines, etc. Entrepreneur also has to coordinate the factors of production because ultimately he's the person who's operating the business. Division of labor, quality of production has to be looked in by entrepreneur. Entrepreneur has to do sales, advertisements. He or she has to search for markets, supervision of the business, quality of production, risk, and innovation. Now, this is a very interesting topic here. What are the advantages of becoming an entrepreneur? And a lot of time people ask me why to be an entrepreneur and what will we get when we become an entrepreneur. The first thing which the best thing about being an entrepreneur is that you have the control on what you do. You choose the work you like and make the most of your strengths. You know what are your strengths and you do according to that. So that is the control you have, and obviously which results into more job satisfaction. You have the excitement. The best thing about entrepreneur, people think that entrepreneurship is all about money. No, it's all about excitement. Entrepreneurship can be very exciting, and many entrepreneurs consider their work as enjoyable. And they say that we are here for work because we enjoy what we do. Each day is filled with new opportunities, challenges, challenge to your abilities, skills, and determination. Flexibility, entrepreneurs can schedule their work hours, their commitments, including quality time with families, friends. So that flexibility you have, and that's the biggest advantage. One of the biggest advantage. Freedom. You have freedom to work um, wherever you want, uh, however you want. It's on you. You you're your own boss. You're your own master. So most entrepreneurs don't consider their work as actual work because what they are doing is something which they love. So, an important thing about being entrepreneur is the advantage is a rational salary. As an entrepreneur, your income is directly related to your effort and success of your business. This is something which I have added. This was not there in the syllabus because when we are talking of advantages of being entrepreneur, we should focus on some disadvantages of being entrepreneur. Usually books will not talk about this, but this is something which you should know. Administration. Uh, it's very fancy when you say that you are the master of your own and you are deciding to do what you want. But there are few things which you don't like doing, but you will have to do because you are the entrepreneur, you are the owner. And one of them can be, a lot of entrepreneurs don't like, is administration. There are a lot of paperwork which you'll have to do. There'll be a lot of admin work which you'll have to do. So maybe you don't like this. So the important thing is that you'll have to do something which you don't like. Competition. Competition. s- entrepreneurship has a lot of competition. It's a competitive thing. Staying competitive is very critical as a small business owner. You will need to differentiate your business from others like yours in order to build solid customer base and be profitable. Loneliness. It can be lonely and scary to be completely responsible for success and failure of your own business. You are on your own, and this is also a disadvantage. No regular salary. Uh, you are not getting a paycheck at the end of the month. It's your own business, you have to earn. So there's no fixed date which you are getting money as salary. So this is a disadvantage, giving up your security of a regular paycheck. And if there's a slowdown in your business, your personal income can be at risk. So this is a disadvantage. Then work schedule. Um, it looks very fancy when you say that you can work on your own, but you have to work when the work demands to be done. So the work schedule can be at times unpredictable, and this is a major disadvantage for being entrepreneur, that it requires more work, longer hours than being an employee. But these are the disadvantages. You have passion to overcome these disadvantages. Now, what is entrepreneurial decision process? This is an important part of any entrepreneurship development course which is there. Now, look at this slide. This is how a journey take place between your present state and you becoming entrepreneur. First thing is your present state, whatever you're doing, you are a student, you are in a job, and then you have to have some reasons to change that present status. There can be some dissatisfaction or something which triggers that change. Then that change will lead to a desire for a change from present status to becoming entrepreneur. But see, desire is not the only thing which will help you. There has to be possibilities of becoming entrepreneur. Is there things around you which are making you um, entrepreneur, which are helping you? And if those things are there, you become entrepreneur. So obviously there's a reason, there's a desire, and then things around you, possibilities, will make you entrepreneur. So this is a process. Now, what are the challenges faced by entrepreneur? These are very important thing, because ultimately you have to be sure what you're getting into if you want to become entrepreneur. Cash flow management. This is a challenge, big challenge, because your at times your cash flow are unpredictable. You don't know when your customers are going to pay, or you have to plan when your customers are going to pay. Hiring employees, this is something very, very important, that you have to hire employees, and you have to have right people. You have to pay them right salaries, otherwise they will not work for you. So this is important. Then the third thing is time management. You are on your own, you are your own boss, but you have to devote time. You have to make sure that you are giving right time for the activities which need your attention. And this is the challenge, because you have to find out what are the important things, what are your priorities, and then you have to manage your time. Delegating task. This is something which a lot of entrepreneurs face as a challenge, because they don't want to give their power. They are doing something which they like, but ultimately, when you're growing, your company is growing, you have to delegate your task. Then choosing what to sell. You have your business. Now, what is there? You will have options. You will have options for products. You will have options for services to offer your customers. But now, what is it that is going to make money, that is going to succeed in market? That that selection is a make or break selection for an entrepreneur. The making marketing strategies, capital, strapped budget. Budgets are sometimes low, business growth, and the last thing is self doubt. A lot of time entrepreneurs face doubts whether they're doing this, whatever they're doing in this entrepreneurship, whether this is right or wrong. So these are the challenges which entrepreneurs are facing. Common mistakes in entrepreneurship. Now, this is interesting. You will find this uh, in a lot of entrepreneurs, why they do not succeed. These are very common mistakes a lot of people are doing. Not spending enough money or spending too much money. Now, this is the first thing which, so you know that something is critical for your business. At times, people don't realize it and they're not spending money for it. And at times, they're spending money, too much money, for something which is not required in the business or not as critical as they are thinking. Thinking that you have no direct competitors, a lot of entrepreneurs are in love with their own business. They think that what they are doing is something where they do not have competitors. But please remember, in this age, uh, everything has competition, everything has direct competition. So, this is a common mistake which a lot of entrepreneurs are doing. Making hiring decision based on cost. Please understand, this is a very basic concept of hiring, HR hiring when you're doing. A lot of thing people do is they decide a budget, they decide a cost, and according to that budget, they hire people. But that is not the basic. You're defying the basic principle of hiring. You have to hire people based on the job description. You have to look at the job and then hire people with the skill to do that job. Now, your budget can match that. At times, your budget cannot match that. Or maybe you have to look at the skill which is needed for that job. A lot of entrepreneurs do the opposite. They look at the budget, they look at the cost, and then they hire. And this is the mistake, basic mistake, which entrepreneurs are doing. Not setting attainable goals. At times, people keep un goals which are not achievable. So that is something wrong. Not thinking about marketing. A lot of technical entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs who are developing products are not thinking much about marketing. They are too product focused or service focused, having too small margins. You have too small margin. A lot of entrepreneurs think that okay, if I make a small margin, that is also a business proposition. But please remember, small margins mean big volume, and entrepreneurs who are generally startups and they're small, they cannot achieve volumes, and a lot of startup ventures fail for this. Thinking that you can do it on all on yourself, that you are a one man army and you can do everything, is something which leads to failure a lot of time. Being fear of what if this happens, if this goes wrong, this goes wrong. So that kind of fear is really taking a lot of entrepreneurs down. Putting your products first and people last. No. Again, I've told you in my last video also, entrepreneurship is a team play. It's the stronger team you have, the more successful you are. So you have to put people first, then your products and services. Common financial mistakes in entrepreneurship. Um, One thing which is there is empty bank accounts. A lot of time entrepreneurs think that they should invest rather than keeping the money in the bank, they should put it in the business. So they don't keep cash in the accounts. But that is wrong. You have to have some fallbacks. You have to have some cash in your bank accounts. Spending without an ROI in mind, you are spending on business, but whether that spending is giving you some kind of return, that is not clear at times with entrepreneurs, and this is the mistake which is done. Being too frugal, you're spending very less, you are not spending what ought to be spent. Disorganization that leads to extra expense. entrepreneur has to be a very organized person. You should organize yourself, organize your time, organize your finances, organize your business. Otherwise, you are going to be in problem. And so, not knowing when to quit is something which entrepreneurs is a mistake. And this is a common financial. See, these all 5 points, I put this as financial mistakes, because mistakes I have discussed, but financial mistakes are something which are more severe, which can take your business down. Evolution of entrepreneurs, changing role of entrepreneurs in 20th century, and this is something very interesting slide. Entrepreneurship resulted in new industries, all the Olas and Ubers and uh, 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 Flipkarts and Facebooks are coming in this. So, what is the difference in 20th century which was happening, and now what is happening in 21st century, in which we have in this age of Facebook and these kind of startups? You see, in 20th century, entrepreneurship resulted in new industries and new combination of currently existing inputs. An example of this is a steam engine was combined with a wagon, so it had a horseless carriage which was called car. So in 20th century, you are basically combining things. Now, in this 21st century, in this what is happening is there's a lot of digital technology. There's a lot of mass media which is happening. So in 20th century, there were a lot of combination of technologies, but here you have a lot of digital, you have a lot of mass media. So a lot of small businesses are coming up. There's a lot of ethnic entrepreneurship, which is related to some ethnicity. And most important and thing here is there's a lot of women entrepreneurship is happening in this era in which we are living. Now let us discuss something on women on enterprises. What are women enterprises? Women enterprises entrepreneurship is a process where women organizes all factors of production, undertakes risk, and provide employment to others. A process of economic development would be incomplete unless women, which are 50% of your population, are fully involved in it. The government of India has defined women enterprise based on women participation in equity, employment of business enterprise. According to Government of India, and the definition of women enterprise is enterprise owned and controlled by a woman having minimum financial interest of 51% of the capital and giving at least 51% of employment generated in the enterprise to women. So these are either. So either this or that, the government of India will recognize as the venture as a woman enterprise. Now, social entrepreneurship, this is something new which is happening. Now, what is social entrepreneurship? There's a lot of confusion for people on what social entrepreneurship is. So, social entrepreneurship is the use of techniques by startup companies and other entrepreneurs to develop, fund, and implement solutions to social, cultural, or environmental issues. These are all non-profit and for-profit also. So let me tell you in very simple words. These are the organizations which are for social cause. They are there for a social cause, and they are non-profit also at times. They're not there for earning money, and they at times they are for profit also. So they are doing their business for a social cause, but for profit. Now, how they are different from a NGO? NGO or a society or a trust is a typical organization which has a purpose of has a social purpose. But the difference between an NGO and a social enterprise is that a social enterprise runs on principles of running a business. So it's purely a business but with a social objective, and it can be a non-profit company or for profit company, but that profit is also put in some social causes. So for profit company, but that profit is put into social cause, it is a social enterprise. Rural entrepreneurship, in India we have a big rural market. So what is a rural enterprise? Rural enterprise and entrepreneurship based on welfare and upbringing of rural areas is a rural enterprise entrepreneurship. Employment to millions of unemployment rural youth is the advantage which uh, rural entrepreneurship is giving. It basically is a check on migration. A lot of migration is happening from villages to cities. So if you can generate jobs, if you can generate entrepreneurship opportunities at the level of village, this migration can be stopped. And there's a lot of financial problem, raw material problem which these rural enterprise face. So these are the issues with rural entrepreneurship. Uh, So, optimum utilization of local resources is an entrepreneurial venture by rural population. So, that is how a rural enterprise works. Its better distribution of farm products results in the rural prosperity. Entrepreneurial occupation, rural population to reduce discrimination and provide alternative occupation as against the rural migration to activate such system. Provide basically 6M in rural enterprise: manpower, money, material, machinery, management, and market to rural population. This brings us to an end of this. Thank you very much.